I finally figured it out, y'all. I am perhaps the only person on YouTube that now has a definite answer to this most often asked question in lawn care. Yeah, sounds crazy, right?
Yep.
But it's not. It's also not crazy that you're here joining me on Budget Lawns. I appreciate you as always. If this video is interesting, helpful, useful, whatever, if you like it at all, please help me by giving me a thumbs up, commenting down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. So it's springtime. There's finally some warmth in the air. There's this anxiousness to get out in the lawn and get the season started. But is it really even time to do so? You could probably ask 10 different people the question of when does the lawn season end and when does, more importantly, the lawn season begin. And out of those 10 people you ask, you will probably get 10 completely different answers. And I'm going to answer those questions today. When does it begin and when does it end? The answer is whenever the heck you want it to. You got to decide how long you want your lawn season to be. And I'll give you one huge tip. Do not, under any circumstance, base your lawn season off of everybody else's on the internet. Now, I have finally decided when my lawn season is going to begin, because every year that I do this, I get a little bit more comfortable and with how the lawn season is going to play out. And I always give one recommendation for especially us bermudagrass owners to wait until your last frost or freeze date to do your spring scalp. You can find that in your local Farmer's Almanac, websites online. We'll give you a rough estimate of what that date might be. And mine is usually around the middle of April. So this being 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, my 7th year to be a homeowner and in lawn care, I have finally figured out when my lawn season begins, and I will not touch anything in my lawn until that same date. I used to use it just for scalping, and I would try to get out and clean up some flower beds and maybe plant some stuff and kickstart the lawn season a little bit earlier than it really needed to be. And for one reason or the other, I always ended up regretting that. Whether it be because I planted some plants too early and then here comes that late season cold blast and I'm out there covering up plants every night and uncovering them every morning. And then if I plant something, I have to keep up with the water until they establish. So it becomes more of a hassle than it does an enjoyment. So this season I have said, you know what? I am absolutely not starting anything until after that forecasted frost or freeze date around the middle of April. Many of you are probably like me. You got into this lawn care game when maybe your kids were really little and they didn't have a whole lot going on, so you had a lot more time to spend out on the lawn. But now they're getting older. You have other obligations. Perhaps you have other interests. For me, it's tough for me to get started in March because you've got March Madness. And then once basketball season ends, you're rolling right into college baseball. Me being a teacher, it's very hectic in the last 2 months of school in April and May. And then it's like once May's over, the world of time just opens up. So I am not dictating when my lawn season is going to run by everybody else's. And I'm finding that that gives me a lot less stress and a lot more comfort. Because I think back to last season, and I did not even touch a thing in this new lawn until the end of April or close to the first part of May. I made 2 trips out of state. My brother was getting married in Santa Fe, New Mexico, in the middle of April. So I didn't have time to do anything. And you want to know what? Even though I got this really late start by most people's estimation, I was still able to crank out one heck of a looking lawn last season for a brand new sodded Bermuda grass lawn. But, you know, if you try to do anything that doesn't fit the mold of the lawn care purists or fit what the old experts and keyboard warriors think you should be doing, then you don't have a clue about what you're talking about in lawn care. Because if you ask me, if I could pick the ideal lawn care season in length, I would tell you that it would be May, June, July, August, and then once September rolls around, that's when I'm kind of dialing things back. If you remember last year, I did that. And oh my gosh, the grief I got about telling people that I had given up my lawn and not watered it and not taken care of it through the month of September and let some of that Bermuda grass go dormant from heat and drought and lack of irrigation. That, oh my gosh, you are just going to regret that when spring comes around and it doesn't green up that early. Oh my gosh, heaven forbid it won't green up in March. And my lawn season will be just a little bit shorter than somebody else's. I talk a lot here on this channel about I think everything has a season. And that holds true for something I love just as much as lawn care. Because once the fall rolls around, I'm ready for college football. Like, my life likes to jump from one interest or hobby to the other and not dedicate everything all to the same thing. And in this case, for what a lot of people like to do, is lawn care. I don't care if my lawn greens up super early, because I made sure to baby it all through the fall and made sure that it got all the carbohydrates and nutrients it needed for an early spring green up. That just means I don't have to start taking care of it while I'm watching college baseball and trying to do other things in the spring as the weather permits. And you know those spots that I let go dormant last year? It's funny because they're already greening up. Gosh, it's funny when the expert opinions are just so totally wrong. I know the science supports what they're trying to tell me, but it's just funny when you know that you don't have to do it to the T, you know. You don't have to do it to the umpteenth degree for Bermuda grass to just be a grass and live. It's already greening up. It's nowhere behind other parts of the yard. Actually, that spot around the back side of my retaining wall in the backyard, it probably has more green showing through than anywhere else, because really, we have had really cold temperatures and we're just now getting some warmth, so it's not even starting to green up anyways. And I don't care if it greens up early, and I don't care if I shut the sucker down early in the fall. Give me a lawn season that lasts from May, June, July, and August. Because once I start school back in the fall, my time for babying a lawn goes downhill dramatically. That's my season. I figured it out. That is my season. I figured it out. I will wait until around the middle part of April to kick off scalping, planting, cleaning out flower beds, whatever it may be, and I will run it from that point through August, a few things here and there in September, and then we will call it good for the season, and then I'll do what I like to do in the fall and winter. And that's really not a whole lot, but rest. So you may be wondering, what's the point in this video? Well, I encourage you to figure out what your lawn season is going to be, when it is going to start and when it is going to end, because there's nobody out there that can tell you when yours should begin and end. That is all up to you and all about what you want to accomplish out of it, and not somebody with a big mouth online. All right, my friends, that's going to do it for this edition of Budget Lawns. A little bit different than we have been cranking out here lately, but if you followed the channel for any length of time, you know, we like to have some conversations and commentary from time to time and not just stick with the lawn tips. And hey, don't forget, we go live here on Budget Lawns every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 Central. Me and Joe from Wood Boy Productions. We're the Budget Wooder Show. We talk about lawn and life and everything in between. We hope you'll join us then. And as always, folks, thank you so much for being here. Your support of the channel means a lot. And I hope to see you in the next one.